Debout, debout. Allez, paille. Calme, calme. Reste debout, paille, reste debout. Serge. Debout, debout. Bien joué, Mickey. Allez, les gars, parlez. Ouais. Mais demande, il fait lent. Oh, le délai, c'est quoi? J'ai plus de profondeur. Aïe! La Mickey, jouez! Joue là! Encore! Sortez!
Take on Portugal. Colombia take on Portugal in the final match day of this group stages for the two sides in Group K, as Colombia with 2 out of 2 wins and impressive victories as well, as Uzbekistan and DR Congo do top the table, because Portugal did put 5 past Uzbekistan, so they do have a bit of goal difference than Colombia. But if they want to finish atop of the pile in Group K, they will have to come away with all 3 points against the Colombians this afternoon in Miami. We'll do a look at the two sides. Colombia, they do make 3 changes from that 1-0 win against DR Congo. Munoz, Mojica and Suarez drop out. Anas, Macedo and Cordoba come into the lineup. Portugal, it's 1 Neves in, 1 Neves out. João Neves comes out of the side. And it is a warm welcome to this evening / early morning, wherever you are listening in, unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Miami as Group K does wrap up, as it is Colombia taking on Portugal. We've got all to play for top spot, you'd have to say. Colombia 2 out of 2 impressive wins against Uzbekistan, 3-1 and a 1-0 win against DR Congo. As Portugal, it was that draw. They were held by Congo 1 apiece. whereas it was a dismantling of Uzbekistan, 5-0. Should be an interesting game. Of course, Congo and Uzbekistan are playing, and I do believe Uzbekistan have already scored. It is 1-0 to them. Myself and my co-coms will keep you updated the best we can. Here come Colombia though, inside the penalty area. Luis Diaz goes for a striker goal, bobbles, and a header. It falls kindly for Cordoba, puts it over the bar, might have been offside. I think he was in the right place at the right time. We'll bring you an update on the Congo game in just a moment's time. As I said, we'll do our best to keep you up to date with that scoreline as Group K does come to a finish, but nearly a goal there for Colombia. I'll bring you the lineups if you did miss them in the preamble in just a moment, but it is myself, Lewis Raftery. I'm joined by Del Rosso to take through all the action here in Miami between Colombia and Portugal. And a lot of teams would maybe, because both are qualified, accept that as it's ball forward, offside. It might be a free kick. I believe it's a free kick for Portugal due to the offside. Maybe both teams would see this and just go, we're both through. There's no need to go full throttle into this game. Neither of these sides play football like that. They both want to top the group. Colombia could go perfect 3-3. Portugal want to top the group as well. A lot for them to prove as usual. How do you see it going, Dale?
Well, I think it's as you said, I think both teams are going to want to come into this game. They're going to want to obviously take the 3 points and top the group, but I mean, it goes without saying that there is also a very rare circumstance with a 5 or 6 goal swing that Portugal could end up third in the group if DR Congo could get a certain result against Uzbekistan. Of course, that is rather unlikely, but yeah, I think Portugal want to come into this game with something to prove. I don't think they've had the greatest start to their World Cup campaign, and a win here could really set the tone.
It could. I'd have to agree with that, of course. I did say Uzbekistan had the ball in the back of the net, was given as in offside, I do believe. So, what a start that would have been. Of course, there is an opportunity for Uzbekistan. I do believe if they were very, very lucky maybe to qualify. I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility because of all the changes. DR Congo, they could do a victory there. I think a victory would solidify them as well. So, a lot to change, of course. This is the second handful of last group games to go. Of course, Jordan, Argentina and Austria against Algeria to come in the early hours. Of course, it's a 12:30 kick-off here for us in the United Kingdom, whereas it's just after 7:30 local time in Miami, 5 hours back, of course, from us on the East Coast. But it is a big game here. I'd say this is on paper, the biggest game of the group stages on match day 3. At least I'd have to say, seeing pictures of both the managers, Nestor Lorenzo and Roberto Martinez. Free kick coming up here for Portugal. Bruno Fernandes is over, and of course, all the cameras will be panning to Cristiano Ronaldo. Scored the first ever man to score in 6 World Cups. Fernandes takes it short into Mendes. They've been very creative from free kicks of Portugal. Nothing comes from it that time though, and Colombia trying to play their way out. It's not a great clearance from Arias. Strike comes in outside the area from Ruben Neves. The one change for Portugal, but well wide. So quickly then, the full 11s, if you did miss it in the preamble, as I say, Colombia make 3 changes. Munoz, Mojica and Suarez are out. Arias, Mercado and Cordoba coming for them. Following the 1-0 win against DR Congo for Portugal, it's one Neves in, one Neves out. João Neves drops out. In comes Ruben Neves. For Colombia, it's Vargas in goal. Back four of Arias, Sanchez, Lucchini and Mercado. Midfield 3 of Puerta, Lerma and Arias. And skipper James Rodriguez, Cordoba and Luis Diaz as a forward 3. For Portugal, Costa is in goal. Back four of Cancelo, Diaz, Vega and Mendes, with Ruben Neves and Vitinha the 2 holders, with Pedro Neto, Fernandes and Felix supporting skipper Cristiano Ronaldo, who leads the line for Portugal. Will be a throw-in opportunity here, as of course we know that the time, as soon as you pick up the ball, is when the referee will start the countdown, and Puerto knew that's what it took as long as he wanted to try and pick that ball up. It will be a long throwing opportunity here for Colombia. Puerto has been very impressive for me in the games I've watched him. It's a long throw, it's right on the goalkeeper. It might fall for Arias, it will fall for Diaz, who is strike, just can't get enough power on it, and then it's just hacked away by Ruben Diaz and cleared away. But a fast start in this game for both sides. For thought Portugal might come with a counter-attack. Fernandes tries to swiftly kick it long to the right-hand side to Pedro Neto. But a fast start from both these sides.
Yeah, fast start, exactly that. I think both teams, as we thought, going into it, want to get that win, want to get an early goal. They want to press on and really put the other side under a lot of pressure. I think Portugal trying to control the game just a little bit more, as opposed to Colombia trying to go a little bit more direct, but certainly setting up to be a good match.
It really is, and as I say, I think on paper, at least for match day 3, and I say it because some teams are qualified, some teams are already eliminated, so it takes a bit of the excitement, takes a bit of the drama away on match day 3. Both these sides, yes, qualified, but will be wanting to fight it out for top spot. Too long there with the throw-in was Arias, and it will be given as a Portugal one. So poor there from Colombia, you'd have to say. Of course, the full-back changes, Arias and Mercado in. I thought the full-back areas where they were so strong with Munoz and Mojica in their wins against Congo and Uzbekistan. Of course, Munoz scored the only goal in the victory against Congo. Here come Portugal. Fernandes out to Felix. He'll swing one into the back post. It's just over the head of the unrunning Pedro Neto there. And he looks to his winger on the left hand side and says, that was so close, such an opportunity. And what I do have to say, I'm not saying that Pedro Neto shouldn't be heading that, but he's not a tall striker, if you will. Perhaps if that was a player of the height of a Cristiano Ronaldo, a little bit taller, I do think he at least gets on the end of it. Yeah,
100% he does, but I also think to go against Pedro Neto here, he almost times his run completely wrong. He diverts it in, he cuts in on his left track, and realistically, if he hooked around that right hand side, he would have had an easy shot on goal.
Here comes Colombia. Cordoba, great hold up play, whips it out to James on the left hand side. Strike comes in and it whistles wide of the post. I feel almost that James in this role is it's just similar because they are kind of similar players. How Messi is of Argentina. It's almost a free roll. You create what you can. We've got hard-working players in midfield with Puerto Lerma and Arias, the former Wolves man. You create spaces and go from there. Long ball forward. Pedro Neto will get on the end of it on the right-hand side. He's got a runner win. Ronaldo. He forces himself back, though, to Ruben Neves into Bruno Fernandes. Picks out a pass on the right-hand side for Cancelo. He will get there, just chasing it a little bit. There is the Barcelona man. Of course, I do believe he might even be a free agent, if I'm right. The full-back spent the second half of the season on loan for the Spanish side. Back to Vitinha, and can imagine that Portuguese midfielders, that's a poor pass there. I'm about to rave about them. And Ruben Neves, of course, he came in for João Neves. Again, it's kind of, I think, freshening up the midfield. But if I would say there's one team at this tournament, we've got great attacks, we've got great midfield, we've got great sides, of course, at this World Cup. I'd say pound for pound, man for man, Portugal have the best midfields.
Yeah, 100%. I think no discredit to João Neves. He's a brilliant understudy for this midfield. But when you look at Bruno Fernandes, who's arguably the best midfielder of the Premier League last season, and you look at Vitinha and João Neves, who've just won the Champions League back-to-back with PSG, it's undoubtedly the best midfield in terms of calibre, but also in terms of balance. I think they've got the right roles, the right players to do it, and I think they're all the best in their position.
That's a lovely ball from Vitinha to clubmate Nuno Mendes on the left-hand side, takes it past his man Arias, cuts back inside a few times as he would inside a corner. He wants a corner. Colombia want a goal kick. I believe Arias just got there and will get the decision. But Mendes, it's almost as well that Cancelo will go up and down the right hand side. I'm not saying he's going to tuck in and be a defensive fullback, but with João Felix off the left hand side and Nuno Mendes off the left, with the absolute, he can hold the left hand side on his own, can Nuno Mendes. It almost means João Felix can come a little bit more inside, play that more central role, and kind of him and Fernandes double up centrally a bit more and put pressure on that Colombia midfield and just in front of the centre backs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, and it also allows Pedro Neto on that far side to really bomb on and get higher up the pitch, because yes, Cancelo comes up, but he won't overlap the same way that Nuno Mendes will around João Felix, and it creates this asymmetric attack that can really penetrate back lines.
I think it's spot on. Maybe Neto holding the width a bit more, but getting behind Cancelo will probably underlap a little bit more. Basically, asymmetric, as Dale just pointed out. One's wide, and they'll get options. They'll double up as well at times, but I think João Felix, we all know the ability he's got. Sometimes maybe that work rate, that inconsistency is questioned. When you've got Nuno Mendes in behind you, you could probably again have Nuno Mendes as a left winger and Nuno Mendes as a left wing back if you wanted to. I feel he's definitely the best left back in the world, and could be one of the best left wingers in the world if you wanted him to. Colombia lose the ball on the right hand side. Pedro Neto, the man who wins it. Just over 10.5 minutes into this Group K match day 3 clash. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Our official independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action. As it is goalless so far, does mean Colombia will finish, as it stands, atop of the table. And I went a bit early in the first 90 seconds in Uzbekistan have got a goal. Well, now they do. It is DR Congo 0, Uzbekistan 1. What a moment that could be for them, and it would take them off the bottom of the table as well. As I said, I don't think it's enough for them to get qualified. I think that's already confirmed. Of 3 points will not be enough, but there'll be a lot of history for the nation to beat DR Congo. Here comes Cristiano Ronaldo, plays it off to Fernandez. Is he brought down there from Ronaldo? The referee doesn't bring the player back. He's going to let advantage play on, but Portugal are down to 10 men on their feet, at least for now. Neto back to Fernandez, who goes for a strike, gets it all wrong, and it's out of play for a goal kick for Colombia. And that'll be a surprise, you'd have to say, if Uzbekistan were victorious. Congo, big favourites coming into this. Of course, if they were to win, I think they would qualify as well. So could be a big turnaround needed there. I can imagine that Congo are happy to concede early on, at least. Gives them a lot of time to come back into this game. We're just watching the replay of the goal for Uzbekistan. It's a complete mistake at the back, but it's a lovely goal, it has to be said, watching the replay. The Congo players at the back didn't know who was going to clear it, and then coming in was the forward for Uzbekistan, the skipper, and he just dinked it over the goalkeeper. It is a world-class finish, and if I'm honest, that's a finish you'd see of a Ronaldo, a Luis Diaz, a Bruno Fernandes. Great finish there from Uzbekistan. As I said, myself and Dale will do our best to keep you updated with the score elsewhere, but our focus is here in Miami. Goalless between South American side Colombia and the European side Portugal. And I think Colombia, everyone speaks about dark horses, they've become quite a dark horse in this tournament. Portugal coming into it, I'd say one of the top 3 tip teams, along with Spain and Argentina. Maybe add France to that as well. Maybe that's the big 4 that were coming into this tournament. James back to Puerta, and Colombia having a bit of possession for now. Knocking it to the left-hand side, into the feet of Mercado. Back to James, picking up pockets of space. Visited into the feet of Arias. And plays his football back. The Brazilian Serie A, the former Wolves man, who spent less than half a season in Molineux before getting out of there. Now forward they come with Davinson Sanchez, pokes it to the left hand side. Nice turn and touch. Luis Diaz has it. Overlapping run of James, pulls it back to Diaz. He might go for a strike here. No, he doesn't. Tries to twist and turn away from the Portuguese defence. Flicks it out to Santiago Arias on the right hand side. He'll get there. Ball is played in, deflected away off of Nuno Mendes. Lerma comes over to support. Good feet there from the Palace man. Arias. Diaz into Puerta. Puerta's driving forward. He might go for a strike at goal. He does. Slice wide. Good play from Colombia. Puerta going for the shot. Don't blame it. It'd open up for him, but well wide. And Portugal will also probably think, well, if you're going to go for shots outside the area like that, we're quite happy.
Yeah, I think if Portugal can limit Colombia's shooting opportunities to shots from that range, especially of that quality, no discredit to Puerta, but it's certainly not the type of shot that he would have wanted when it left his boot. I think Portugal will be very happy with that. But I think it's a positive sign for Colombia that they're able to create those chances, and as the game goes on, maybe they can create better opportunities.
I have to agree with that. Portugal now on the ball with Vega. Of course, a handful of appearances really for Chelsea. And Villarreal has made his name as a centre-back, now starting at the World Cup for his country. Pedro Neto to the overlapping Cancelo, puts the ball into the box, looking for Ronaldo. Easily cleared away by Lucchimi. It's not a great clearance though, picked up by Vega to the feet of Vitinha. Now Felix on the left-hand side, back to Vitinha. Opens up, he's got red jerseys in front of him, swings it out to the left-hand side to his club teammate Nuno Mendes. Of course, a lot of these players for PSG. Of course, put João Neves in there, who did start, of course, against Uzbekistan. That's another PSG player. Gonçalo Ramos, at least for the time being, is a PSG player. Looks like he might be moving to Italy and AC Milan. Vitinha back to Cancelo, and look, they'll be happy with this. Well, Portugal, I think if anything, then what they are more a possession-based style of team. Or so many creative players, you'd have to say. And then Great players that can score goals as well. Felix, Fernandez, you'd have to say creators, but can score a lot of goals as well for you. Vega into the feet of the Manchester United midfielder, as Dale said, one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfielder in the Premier League last season, it has to be said. Sometimes it doesn't always go his way for Portugal. I think because he's the main man at Manchester United helps a lot more. Neto swings a ball into the box, back sticks headed away, but kept alive by Ruben Neves. Actually, it's a good touch from Arias to take it away from him. Fernandez and Felix are closing the Colombian midfielder down, cleared away by Arias. Not a good clearance. That might be a high boot, but Vega nods it back. Vitinha fizzes it into Ronaldo. Back heel into Pedro Neto. Not the greatest of touches from the Chelsea winger, and you just feel that both teams, as I'll bring Dale in a moment, as here comes Arias, plays a lovely ball into Cordoba. He's still flying forward, is Arias, and it's still Cordoba flying forward into the penalty area. Strike comes in, it's blocked away. James might get that second bite of the cherry on the edge of the area. Luis Diaz does, blocked away. Can't stop it going out for a corner. Good counter-attack there from Colombia. They will get the corner as well. But Cordoba and Arias, they just marched through that Portugal midfield.
Yeah, it was almost as if the Portugal defenders were stepping off. They were given the space and almost inviting Cordoba to shoot. He did so well. And, I mean, it's a big save from Diego Costa, but it's also an incredible intervention there from, I think it's Joao Cancelo, to just tip it away from the follow-up that I think Arias was arriving to get on the end of. And yeah, I mean, Portugal, it's scrappy, but they got it done.
It's an opportunity now, though, for Colombia. You'd have to say if they take the lead, not against the run of play, they've actually been very good so far. Corner taken short. Arias fizzes one into the box. It's punched well away by Diogo Costa. And then a strike comes in 40, 50 yards out. Maybe he's unofficial independent off Tube Studio commentary. We don't hear the whistles and so. But that was about 50 yards out from the left back, Mercado. I'm hoping that he heard the whistle and that's just why he went for the strike. It goes like there's an offside or a foul in the build-up there. But Arias kind of doing what you want, just that flick into the back sticks, if you will, as an opportunity. But that was a really good one there on that left-hand side. Just put it ball into the back sticks and hoped for the best. One of them where you just put it into the back sticks and hope that the goalkeeper gets there. Maybe one of your teammates do. 18 minutes on the clock, still goalless. Both these teams, they are playing some good stuff. You're just really waiting for the game to open back up. I will say an update, Congo have got an equaliser in their game against Uzbekistan. One apiece in that game. So Uzbekistan had a lead, not for too long, it has to be said. Look at the stats so far. Colombia 6 shots to Portugal's 2. They've had a 1 shot on target though of Colombia with that Cordoba effort just a few moments ago. Whereas Portugal yet to test the goalkeeper Vargas in the Colombian goal. Is that a foul there by Mendes? It's either a foul or a throw-in. I do believe the foul's been given against the PSG left back. He's picked up the ball as if he thinks it's a throw-in. Seen pictures of Munoz and Rios on the bench. I would say that, of course, but we've already spoke about the Portuguese depth that they've got with midfielders. As the referee's just having a word with Munoz, who's on the bench. I don't know if he's saying to calm down, to go back to his... I don't have a clue what he's saying, if I'm perfectly honest. But because they have dropped Munoz, because they have dropped Suarez, the Portuguese, the Sporting striker playing in the Portuguese league, I should say. They have a bit more depth to bring on, you'd have to say. Good tackle there from Nuno Mendes, says the referee on Arias. I thought he did clip him at the back of the heels, it has to be said. But Portugal come away with the ball. That perhaps if you bring on a Daniel Munoz in the last half an hour, if you want to go for a win, he's an attacking fullback, wingback. He's got the goal. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. As to say he's a fullback, he's a very attacking change they could bring on. Yeah,
he certainly is, and I think he would offer something that Colombia don't actually have on the pitch right now. With obviously James Rodriguez, yes, he's down as that right winger, but he's almost playing wherever he wants in and around that front 3, wherever he can get space and create something. Of course, he's given that free role, but he doesn't offer the stretching of that back line that Victor Munoz would offer, or even when Arias, if he was to replace Arias, he could overlap James Rodriguez, similar to how we were talking about Mendes earlier.
That's how they did in the first couple of games. It was basically Puerta and Munoz as right back and right central midfielder, James on the right hand side, but he could basically come inside and they acted as the dirty workers, if you will, for James in terms of getting back. But credit to James, he's fighting for the ball here against Mendes. Mendes does so well, as he was being closed down as well by Arias to come away with the ball. 20.5 minutes. Again, maybe went a bit early. Congo thought they had the equaliser, being ruled offside, I do believe, or VAR intervened. So Uzbekistan still have the lead in their other game of this group coming forward. Now Felix going to get on the end of it. No, he can't. 1-2 with himself and Bruno Fernandes. Just got caught up in their feet a little bit, but they did come away with the ball, but just a bit too much of a heavy touch and into the arms of the goalkeeper Vargas. So Colombia do have possession back once again. Of course, coming into this game, there's still a lot to be sorted out of who's facing who in terms of the knockout stages of the World Cup. As it does stand, Portugal will be facing Croatia, and Colombia will be facing Ghana in the knockout stages. Of course, that can still change depending on this game as well. Forward come Colombia. Hammers on the right hand side into the feet of Arias. Strike at goal. That might have been going in the back of the net. He's beaten the goalkeeper Diogo Costa, but right place, right time was Ruben Neves. He maybe dragged it a little bit, did John Arias. I'd love to see a replay back because it was very close. Might have been going wide, might have been hitting the post. Had the goalkeeper beaten. So I don't know if it'll go down as a shot on target because it was so close. Colombia, though, are giving Portugal all sorts of problems right now. Vitinha, lovely escape away there from João Neves, and he continues to drive further forward. It's exactly what you expect from him. Ball forward, looking for the run of Pedro Neto. Will he get on the end of it? Goalkeeper has to come, and instead of claiming it, he just punts it out of play for a throw-in on the right-hand side. That's what you spoke about, Neto being able to stretch and get in behind, use his pace. He's the paciest of the Portuguese forwards, taken quickly as a throw-in into Felix. That's a clip of the heels of Ronaldo there by Arias, and essentially it's a fair distance out as well for Portugal. But this game just maybe missing the quality in the final third, but my word, it's lively.
Yeah, we're certainly missing that final piece of the puzzle, if you will, in terms of shots on target, and really, obviously we're getting shots, but nothing really that's screaming that the goalkeeper might not have saved it, or obviously that clearance there, probably the closest we've gotten to a goal. So the fact that it's still 0-0 thanks to Ruben Neves, but this free kick could be a good opportunity for Portugal to really create their first proper chance of the match.
I mean, will it be Cristiano Ronaldo? It's a decent way out, but we've seen him score from this range before. Fernandes is over it. So is Ruben Neves. Of course, as we said, all eyes on Ronaldo against Uzbekistan. The Nuno Mendes stepped up and out, was a lot closer to goal, so you can almost decoy Ronaldo, but it does look like it will be Cristiano Ronaldo to take this one. Fernandes is over. It could be when he rolls him. It could be a worked free kick, but I think Ronaldo will step up to take this. He does it straight down the front of the goalkeeper. So it's a shot on target for Ronaldo. It's one of them as well where he hit it very low, very driven, and it did not bobble off the surface, but it's one of them where it picks up a lot of pace as Colombia go forward with Cordoba, holds it up well, and I think just calms it down as the Colombian players come forward to support him. It's a nice ball from James out to Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. An overlapping run, but plays it more centrally back in for James Rodriguez. Pings it out to the right-hand side. Arias holding the width. Him and James have almost supported each other and very fluidly swapped in and out of play though for a throw-in, and with 24 minutes on the clock, you can imagine, yes, the hydration break will start. But that was one of them for Ronaldo. I mean, it was straight at the goalkeeper, save I expect, but it was one of them where we see it bobble in the goalkeeper sometimes and watch a replay back. I feel that's one of them, but that could have been an opportunity. Vargas spills it and you have the players running back in. It's not a bad option to say, right, I'm just going to get it at the goalkeeper. A couple of you follow in. If he makes a mistake, we might get a chance, because it's awkward. It's not that far away to swing a ball into the box, and it's not close enough to really say I'm going to go for goal. So if that's what the intention was, I don't mind it.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think the shot there, be it, you know, if you're actually trying to score or if you're shooting to force a mistake, I think the shot is certainly the right option in that scenario, because it's too central for you to try and cross it into the back post either side. And yes, it is far enough away that realistically you shouldn't be scoring from there. You wouldn't expect Ronaldo to score. But I was going to argue before the free kick was taken that sort of distance is actually the best place for Ronaldo to shoot from, because he has the power and he has the dead ball specialist to really to knuckle it and have it swerve in the air. Of course, there have been complaints about this ball that it doesn't move enough in the air, and maybe that's what Ronaldo suffered from on that occasion. But I think the shot was certainly the best option.
It wasn't. Again, look, you can't. I think you're right, because that was a little bit. If that was a bit closer, he gets it over, doesn't he, Ronaldo? That's actually the better time, because you can probably get it high and he can dip at the same time. As I say, a warm welcome if you are joining. You're not missing anything as we are in the hydration break. It looks to be about just over 30 degrees in Miami. Very, very warm evening, about 31. We're looking at just seeing so. These are the conditions I can realistically understand a hydration break. I know it's questionable within the World Cup, but look, let's be quite honest, these are the temperatures you can 100%. I mean, Renato Vega is soaked in a bottle of water, not the sweat. You can see they're getting ice packs on the necks. I think James Rodriguez was wearing almost on the back of it was almost a vest, if you will, of ice. I can imagine that maybe taking off, I'm not too sure, but you're not missing anything. We'll be back underway in just a minute or so. As I say, the other game, it's still Uzbekistan 1, DR Congo 0. Seeing those Colombian fans in the stands with wigs on, they always bring a great atmosphere. It's been a great atmosphere, the World Cup. These are two sides that bring it as well. I mean, it looks like a lovely evening, maybe not to be playing football in Miami, but on a Saturday night, I can imagine it's a lovely evening just to be in Miami. Lovely weather on a late June night, and as both teams are just slowly making their way back onto the field of play. Just before we do get back on the way, Dale, the hydration, do you think we see some teams favour it in terms of then to come out a little bit better? Out of the two, do you think it favours a team to have that little break and come back at it?
Well, I think in this game, I think it'll be good for Portugal just to get a little bit more direction from Roberto Martinez in terms of they're having the ball a lot. They've had the majority of possession, and I think they're moving it around well, but they're not actually able to progress up the pitch to create those shooting opportunities. So it'll be good for Portugal to get a bit of direction from the manager. And then from Colombia's perspective, they're obviously getting shots away, but they're not making the most of their shooting opportunities, and I think it'd favour Portugal just slightly more.
As we are just about to get underway, we'll be throwing for Colombia, so we're well over halfway through the first half, of course, but this will just get added back on with the hydration break. It's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of this clash in Miami. It's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. I'll pass you over to Dale to take us through to half-time.
Cristiano Ronaldo has lost the ball inside the Portugal half, so Colombia will win possession back through Arias out towards the left-hand side as Luis Diaz, he turns to his left to see three Portuguese players, so decides not to take them on and instead to recycle possession. Colombia now the side who look a little bit more in control. Maybe that's what they were told by Néstor Lorenzo at the hydration break, just to calm things down and not allow Portugal any free turnovers in a sense to obviously come forward and attack. Colombia more than happy to hold on to the ball here. They've gone all the way back to Vargas and now Sanchez. James Rodriguez dropping very deep to pick up the ball, and the overlapping Machado picks it up on the left hand side as he finds Luis Diaz. Colombia still coming forward. It's a good string of 20 plus passes here as Colombia still in possession. Lima lays off once more, finds Sanchez, has Rodriguez, decides to go to Arias on his right. Of course, Santiago Arias as opposed to John, who's in midfield, and they have eventually lost possession. Although a pass to Bruno Fernandes on this left-hand side is well and truly overhit, and will allow Colombia to just take that breather again, restart their attack. And yeah, since the hydration break, Portugal touched the ball maybe twice. Yeah,
they've had Colombia a lot of possession, sitting back out the Portugal. I spoke as well. I think the problem that, if I'm honest, looking at the Portugal side, and it's, I think Felix playing off the left, and Fernandes, as you said, as I spoke about earlier, doubling up, and Mendes making the overlapping runs. I like the idea, but you just look at the counter-attacks, which Colombia are doing really well with. Compare that to Portugal. The only forward that's pacey is Pedro Neto. If you look at that front four, Ronaldo's obviously not got the physical capabilities. He's got Fernandes and Felix, more creative players. They want the ball. You've only got one runner, so if you are Colombia, as long as you track him, you haven't got. It's all in front of you. It's easy to do. So I'm not saying take a Fernandes, Ronaldo, or Felix off. I'm just saying Colombia's got it a little bit easier, whereas Colombia, Diaz is in behind, Arias is in behind, Cordoba's in behind. It's been a lot harder for Portugal to track those runs. in comparison to Colombia. It's been too easy for Colombia defensively.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point as well, that Nuno Mendes, we pointed him out at the start of the match, that he would overlap Joao Felix to almost create that run of a left winger, and because he's been so caught up with trying to control Rodriguez and keep him contained on that right hand side, he hasn't actually been able to get forward and attack, and he's maybe been too worried about the counter attack. But James Rodriguez, his complaints about not getting the corner kick then allowed Colombia to be awarded the corner kick, and now after a VAR review will not actually get said corner kick. So I mean, it shows that complaining will win you possession sometimes, but now with the new changes to VAR, no, they won't. As Renato Veiga, it looked like there was a slight touch off the Portuguese man, but nonetheless, it's gone in favour of Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo played in behind, but he is quite clearly offside here. He has taken the shot on goal, but nonetheless, it will be... Well, it was warded offside almost instantly, and rightly so. The replay showing that he's quite clearly offside. It's
one of them where you understand a bit more. You've got the back to. I think it's just good defending, if anything, because the Colombian man goes with him, and then at the right moment just slides him. So Ronaldo is offside. It's really well. I want to say it's Lachimi who's the man who plays him offside, whereas Ronaldo's almost had that look. Right, I can make my run now and be onside, and because he hasn't got eyes in the back of his head. As the Portuguese skipper, he just can't see the Colombian man then playing him off. But this is a good play here. Come Portugal with Fernandes.
Yeah, Fernandes on the turn. Had Ronaldo as an option, but advantage has been played after he's been tumbled to the ground. Pedro Neto on the right-hand side has the overlap of Joao Cancelo, but the return pass was deflected and cleared away by Colombia, only as far as Ruben Diaz, who's come up the pitch to win it back, but in doing so has caused a foul on James Rodriguez. Ruben Diaz just having a word with the referee because he felt like he hadn't done all too much wrong, and he's come over the back of James Rodriguez, maybe the hands on the head of the Colombian just a little bit too much, but Alreza Fagani clearly thinking it was, well, in agreement too much.
It was, and that's the problem where as soon as you could see, he was flying in, wasn't he? I think if he slows himself down, he's always going to win the header over James Rodriguez. Just slow yourself down and just, as you said, the hands just jump up, win the ball. Instead, he flies in, jumps over James Rodriguez almost, and the referee's always going to call that back more for a possible head injury as well, realistically. Just got to be a bit smarter there, does Diaz, because you're always going to win the header. Your attack can stay alive. I think Portugal do look really good coming forward. It's just Colombia have held them, but they're coming forward now, Colombia.
And they are coming forward on the left-hand side, so it's Luis Diaz into Arias. John Arias. Once more to find Cordoba. Now with Jefferson Lerma, the Crystal Palace man. He's out towards the right-hand side where Luis Diaz has drifted. He'll find Santiago Arias, pulled across the front of goal and cleared away by Ruben Diaz. Questions of an offside were disregarded. It did look like Santiago Arias was, well, in an offside position, but must have timed his run really well, as the referee just delaying the restart of the game. I'm not too sure as to why, but he has waved play to continue, and so Arias will take the throw-in. Yeah, Joao Felix, the closest Portuguese man to him, can't take too long on the throw, and hasn't, as he finds James Rodriguez, but maybe he did rush it because he was thinking about that time of there, because it was a poor throw, really. A poor touch from James Rodriguez, and the return ball also poor, so it's gone the way of Portugal.
Oh, as well with James Rodriguez, he's got a great left foot, we all know that, great left peg, but he's got a very poor right one, hasn't he? And he never wants to use it, so you almost know, put him on his right foot, and he'll flick it off the outside of his left without a problem as well. Watching back there from that ball in Cordoba, maybe the pull of the jersey as well. I don't think it's a penalty. I do think it's really clumsy from the Portuguese defender. I want to say it was Diaz again involved, didn't quite catch the Portuguese defender's number, but again, just pulling the shit, you're giving the referee an option, aren't you? And look, when the game has been so close as it has, and the high quality it has, you don't want to give Colombia a penalty, because I do think Colombia, if they do sit back, they'll give Portugal a lot of problems. Portugal want this goalless, or want them to go ahead, because the more Colombia are open, the more they have chances to come forward.
They certainly do, as Colombia back in possession as they play it all the way out to Sanchez. Davinson Sanchez, of course, as it played inside for Lerma. His ball hooked around the outside as it tries to find James Rodriguez. The Colombian fans in full voice, it seems, jumping up and down, celebrating their team's qualification. Of course, it would take something extraordinary for them to not qualify at this stage. I actually don't think it's possible for Colombia to not qualify, as the ball played over the top, brought down well by Cordoba. Nuno Mendes winning the loose ball, but the foul being caused by Renato Vega, who is looking more and more disappointed every time the cameras focus on him. Yeah, it's a blatant foul, really.
Very similar to when Diaz can just slow down, because he's not stopped because it is a foul, but it's just there's no need to put your hands in the back of Cordoba flying with that momentum, because again you're always going to get it's how Renato Vega walked away with a wag of the finger, didn't he? And it's just one of them. This really winds me up. If that happened to Renato Vega, he'd be asking for a free kick, rightfully so. So we should learn from that. Taken quickly.
Yes, taken quickly and played up the right hand side. Shot comes in, and I think it was John Arias on that right hand side who took the shot, but it was a relatively easy save for Diogo Costa. And just going back to the foul, I think a silly foul is the easy way to describe it, as Portugal back in possession, deciding to play it out from the back. They are confident in their ability to move the ball around, as it goes back to Diogo Costa. He's being pressed by James Rodriguez, and a poor clearance away from the goalkeeper, but the second ball hoisted up into the air. A little bit of head tennis as it'll eventually be brought down by Luis Diaz on the left-hand side, playing it space to run into, ball into the box, slightly overcooked over the head of Cordoba and Rodriguez, and allow Nuno Mendes to collect, and it looked like he was going to run into the space there. Instead he'll lay it off and still obviously look to exploit that space, and this is where it'll be interesting, because they're playing up the right hand side now. Cristiano Ronaldo in possession, finds Pedro Neto, but Nuno Mendes is still on that left hand side. Ball into the box, slightly over Ronaldo. Joao Felix can't get it as well, falls out to Vitinha. His shot is blocked and then eventually cleared away, only half cleared though. Pedro Neto just inside the penalty area. His ball into the box, takes a deflection. Was it a deflection? It didn't look like the Portuguese players think they've won a corner. Joao Cancelo's ball, as a matter of fact, but I think it's gone behind for a Colombia goal kick.
I don't mind the area he has put it into if you have a player running into it. I just think he's almost blindly put, well, if I put it in here, someone should make the run. He just needs to get his head up and see no one has made that run, because as soon as he put it in, you could just see no one. It's going to trick out for a goal kick. No one's going to get it. But then you also look back and go, well, it's not a bad ball. It's into a good area. But no one's there. And again, the problem I think that Portugal have got is I said goal scorers, and I do think I'm right in terms of saying as an attacking midfielder, Fernandes and Felix are goal scorers. But it's just the runners. There's no runners, is there, off the ball? So this Colombia defence isn't getting stretched. But I think Portugal are growing into the game a little bit more, and they're coming forward down the right.
Yeah, it's a lovely ball in behind to find Pedro Neto as he drives towards the corner flag. Cut back once more. Bruno Fernandes in the box, takes a shot. It's a big save. The overhead kick attempt from Ronaldo. A little messy, couldn't get a clean connection, but Portugal still in possession. I'll get your thoughts in a moment. Lewis, as the ball comes back into the box, cleared away by Davinson Sanchez, but two quick shots for Portugal. Still coming forward on the edge of the area. Vitinha looks to his right, lays it off once more. Bruno Fernandes, the shot taker, finds Joao Felix. Ronaldo, Nuno Mendes, now out to Pedro Neto on this left-hand side. Vitinha again. Lead off once more on the shot from range, and it's a big save. It might not have been a save, actually, as Ruben Neves adamant there was a touch from the goalkeeper, but a big wave of possession there for Portugal.
It was, and that's what you need to do. It took a deflection, hasn't it? I think it's off the back of one of the Colombia defenders there. This was a lovely piece of play, though, as you say, down the right-hand side. I think there's a little bit of confusion and miscommunication from the Colombia defenders, isn't there? It's a lovely first touch from Fernandes to set himself. It's just straight at the goal. It's a good save, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. It's a great height. You just put your arms up, it's there. I think if he just rolls it, picks a corner, that's 1-0 Portugal there. And then Ronaldo with the bicycle kick, you felt that he was just trying to keep the attack alive. He knew he wasn't going to get the shots away, just kind of keep the ball around. Again, we saw one replay of that Ruben Neves strike. The keeper might have still got a touch on it, but it definitely did come off the back of a Colombia player. Should have been a Portugal corner kick. And when you speak about momentum in games and chances, Portugal are just starting to find the rhythm. They're starting to find the momentum in the game. Even if Colombia are having maybe a bit more of the ball, it was quick 1-2s, wasn't it? That's when Portugal look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they certainly do. Portugal definitely growing into this game. And I have to say, even at the age of 41, and yes, he's not been as involved in the match, but every time Ronaldo picks the ball up, it just looks like something's about to happen. Cristiano Ronaldo again in possession. Bruno Fernandes, his ball into the box, headed away by Machado. It'll go all the way over the touchline. It seems like a little battle's brewing here as well between Davinson Sanchez and Joao Felix on this left-hand side. Of course, the centre-half is coming across a lot to help out his full-back, Santiago Arias, but yeah, Joao Felix certainly seeming like he's growing in frustration as Nuno Mendes finds Joao Felix into the box. The shot comes in. It's just over the bar. But what a move it was. Of course, you can't be offside from a throw-in. But Nuno Mendes to pick him out from that range. What a throw-in.
Oh, it was a great idea, wasn't it? And from Felix on the same wavelength. So lovely first touch. He's just stretching, isn't he? And I think to say he's stretching, he does so well to get on the end of it. If that's a little bit kinder for Joao Felix there, I think he at least gets it on target and tests the goalkeeper. But you're right, there was that quick look. It was almost that nod, wasn't it, that Felix was, oh, look what I'm doing, and Mendes saw it. And credit to him because he got the throw in, it was perfect. It wasn't overhit, it wasn't underhit, it was right to the feet of Joao Felix. Lovely chest. It's just, as I say, just running away from him, stretching for that strike. But again, Portugal, now they're looking a rhythm, and now they look dangerous when they come forward.
Yeah, they certainly are. And of course, with Portugal being one of the oldest sides really in the squad, in the tournament, average age of 28.8 in their side, although Colombia is also one of the oldest squads with an average age of 31. But you can certainly see that it's a high IQ match that's happening as well. It's not just pure athleticism and pure talent. It's also the mind's eye of the game that Joao Felix suck it in. Arias really to draw him to the byline to then have the space from that throw in, and even Nuno Mendes, who's only 24 years of age, to also have the experience at such a high level to really see that opportunity. It's certainly they've certainly been one of the most creative sides in the tournament so far, have Portugal.
Yeah, 100%. As we talk about, that's because you have that midfield, isn't it? I feel sometimes, just because I feel, and this is no offence to Pedro Neto, I feel apart from him, they don't have a winger. they don't have anyone who's an out-and-out winger type player. I mean, here come Colombia, though. They're looking for the opener.
Yeah, Arias on the right-hand side, ball into the box, edge of the area now. James Rodriguez shifts onto his right foot, and we can see why he doesn't do it all too often. A very tame effort. It didn't look like he wanted to shoot on his right foot there, but he had to shift it to get away from his man. And well, yeah, as I said, we can see why he doesn't do it all too often.
Yeah, and also because he doesn't do that all often, it can sometimes open up the strike a bit nicer, because it's almost the defenders are going, no, you're going to fake it back on your left. You're not going to pass it with your right. You're not going to take it with your right. So what he does, he gets a bit more room. But as you say, he's not very well versed on his right boot either. So you sometimes take that. It's the risk of he's going to get a shot off, but it's only he's a very much weaker foot. So you're quite happy with that. Just going back to the point I was making, Pedro Neto, he's a great player, one of the best wingers in the Premier League, especially on his day. But sometimes I look at this Portugal midfield and go, could you maybe go like a 4-4-2 diamond and add a midfielder in there, put someone up next to Ronaldo so he's got someone to play off? I think him and Joao Felix, or maybe Fernandes in behind, put a midfield free and add a Joao Neves into that as well. Looking at the basis of the squad, that's much better. You've got Gonçalo Ramos, maybe him and Ronaldo as a duo. I think that works a lot better personally. And again, it's not saying it's club football, you can do what you want, can't you? Sometimes at national level you've got to go, right, what's the best formation and setup for this team? And I think that wouldn't be a bad option. No,
it certainly wouldn't. I think there's certainly two ways they could go with that, of course, as well, as Portugal win possession back just inside their own half, although Joao Cancelo is certainly running out of road as he's dispossessed by John Arias. Plenty of space for Colombia to run into. Edge of the area now. Arias still on his right foot, trying to get past Vega. Arias turns around, lays it off once more. Shot comes in, and it's a relatively tame one, though, from Puerta on the edge of the area. I think Colombia letting Portugal off with that one a little bit more, but now coming forward are Portugal. Pedro Neto on this right-hand side, quickly dispossessed by Lachumi. No foul, says the referee, as we see the board go up for an extra 3 minutes of added time. And I have to say that's about right. We've not had too many stoppages in the matchup, but Colombia still looking to get that first goal in this game. Luis Diaz, edge of the area, has the overlapping run and takes the shot on himself, but he's dragged it too far on the inside there, just unable to get the real connection that he wanted.
Yeah, at first I thought we were trying to curl it as well, more than anything, but yeah, you're rightfully so dragged. And you're right about the stoppage time. It's basically the 3 minutes for the hydration break. It's been a great free-flowing match, hasn't it, to watch, and I mean that perfectly sums it up on that counter-attack for Pedro Neto. Again, great player. But I just look and go, you point out the Rafael Leao's on the bench as well. I'm just saying, put two players up top, Fernandez in behind, pick any midfield three you want, who you can out of your squad. Ronaldo, Leao, Ronaldo and Felix, Ronaldo and Ramos. Don't matter. I just think that gets the best out of this team, especially with the overlapping fullbacks. But here comes Colombia.
Yes, Colombia inside the penalty area now. Shot comes in, blocked by Kinshelo. And Ruben Diaz to clear it away up towards the right-hand side as Pedro Neto picks up the ball, checks in on his left foot, lays it off to Joao Felix. Nuno Mendes back to Felix. The Al Nassr man looking for his teammate in Ronaldo. Finds him on the edge of the area and unleashes a shot. But a wall of yellow shirts means that the Portuguese talisman couldn't get his shot away. As Colombia come forward again, but few numbers really for Cordoba to find a teammate in support. Forced to turn around and instead will lay it off to the centre half, curiously enough, in Davinson Sanchez. Up towards the left-hand side is Machado, finds Luis Diaz. Puerta, once more to Arias. James Rodriguez, edge of the area on his left foot, and that's a better strike spilled by Diego Costa out towards the right-hand side, and Portugal will get it away. 30 seconds left on the clock. Pedro Neto, space to run into, but he's by himself. Still Pedro Neto up against Luchumi. Lays it off once more. Can he find Cristiano Ronaldo? No, he can't. As Davinson Sanchez has the wherewithal just to see where that pass was going to go and nip it out, cut it out at the bud.
Yeah, I actually think it's a really good pass from Neto. I think it's great play from him. I just think it's better defending, as you say, from Sanchez. That's left a bit of space, so and here comes Diaz.
Yes, Luis Diaz on the ball, running out of time to get a goal before the half-time whistle is blown. As Colombia, edge of the area, shot unleashed, blocked, and the half-time whistle has been blown. So, of course, both teams having big chances. I think Cordoba's shot, as well as Bruno Fernandez's shot, probably the best one of the game, really. But going in at half-time, it is still Colombia 0, Portugal 0.
Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half-time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half-time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chance is falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as corner as strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo with a shot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing Diogo Costa, as well as Cordoba's strike that was saved well by the Porto number 1. Fernandez will probably have the best chance of the game. 1-on-1 with the keeper, straight at him. Good save though by Vargas. Half time, it's Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Half time in Miami, and it's goalless between Colombia and Portugal. It's been a fantastic game, box to box, just really lacking that quality in the final third. Ronaldo overshot on target from a free kick outside the area. The best chances falling for James Rodriguez with a strike outside the area, testing. And it is a warm welcome back to unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Miami in match day 3 of Group K as Colombia take on Portugal. Currently goalless going into the second half. The only thing we were missing in the first half was goals and quality in the final third, you'd have to say. Both teams having shots on target and dangerous ones at that as well. Best chance for Colombia was a few chances for Cordoba as well as James Rodriguez, whereas for Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo having a free kick outside the area on target. Bruno Fernandes had a really good opportunity as well. Great cross, cut back in by Cancelo. A good save from Vargas. As it does stand, Colombia will be finishing atop of the table in Group K. At the moment as well, the other game going on, Uzbekistan are still leading DR Congo 1-0. So that'll be interesting to see how that second 45 does play out. But it is all eyes on Miami for myself and my co-commentators. Myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Dale Rosso. Bring Dale in just a moment, as there's been a double change for Portugal at half-time. João Neves is on for Ruben Neves, and Diogo Dalot, the Manchester United full-back, is on for João Cancelo. Foul there by Arias on the Portuguese defender. And a free kick for Roberto Martinez's side. So quickly, it's Vargas in goal for Colombia. Back four of Arias, Sanchez, Lucchini and Maqueda, with midfield three of Puerto, Lerma and Arias. Skipper, James Rodriguez, Cordoba and Diaz as a forward three. For Portugal, it's Costa in goal. Back four of Dalot, Diaz, Vega and Mendes, with Vitinha and now João Neves. The two holders in midfield, the two PSG midfielders. The club teammates will be playing together in midfield, with Felix, Fernandez and Neto supporting skipper Ronaldo, who leads the line. Those substitutions we were talking at the back end of the first half, Dale, of could you change the formation, who could you bring on this and that. To me, the change is that, yes, it's fresh legs, different players, but in the same position. They're a little bit different, of course, each to their own, if you will. But to me, they are still safe substitutions by Roberto Martinez, because he's not really going out on a limb with either of them. I don't think he needs to. But as the game wears on, there could be two subs you look back on and go, they were played a little bit too safe. Yeah, and I think it's really curious that he's decided to use this game as the game to go safe, because realistically, there's no real risk to Portugal dropping into that third place spot. Or, you know, they are going to qualify. Of course, they would prefer to qualify at first than second, but this is the game to experiment. This is the game to maybe change things up and try new things out. And playing it safe in this one only talks to the mentality of what it's going to be like in the knockouts. 100%. And again, I can, like I say, if you're looking to qualify still, it's understandable, but I think there's a lot of players in this Portuguese team, they want to finish top of the pile. I'm looking at guys like Ronaldo and Fernandes as Portugal come forward now. Taken down there is Felix and Fernandes, one after another. I do believe it's a foul by Sanchez on Felix that will be given. Then there was a foul on Fernandes as well, but in terms of the free kick, it was Felix fouled by Sanchez. That will be the official free kick, if you will. So foul by the former Spurs defender, but they do look a lot bit better on the counter. And I think as I really like Ruben Neves as a midfielder, he's a great player to watch. I think him and Vitinha are a little bit too similar of what they want to do. They want to be the sitter, they want to be on the ball, they want to dictate. And of course, they do play together, the João Neves and Vitinha at club level. But João Neves is a great footballer anyway. But he'll do a bit more of the dirty work. He'll get back and forth. He'll nip in and win the ball. I think it's a nicer, of course, combo than Ruben Neves. I feel Ruben Neves and João Neves would complement each other as well. So I can see why they've made those changes. Arias skips past his man there, well defended up by Nuno Mendes. I think Arias wanted a free kick from a few seconds earlier, whereas Mendes at the left back does win the ball, and he's still coming forward into Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo very wide on that left hand side, played into him, back into João Neves. There's no one on the right hand side at all. Does get swung now to Neto, who finally makes his way to the right hand side, but there was no support at all originally. Neves, nice turn there. Mendes, a few of the PSG players who play for Portugal now there on the field and start just trying to get involved in the game. Vitinha swings it out to Pedro Neto, who's got a one-on-one against his full-back. It's back inside to Delort. It's a good ball into the box. Just underneath it there was João Felix at the front post. Not known for his heading as well as the Al-Nassr midfielder. Once again, much better from Portugal. It's a good ball in from Diogo Dalot, especially for his first one of the game. Unfortunately for Felix, first of all, it might have come off his shoulder. He does, so he gets it all wrong anyway. But he looked like he was a little bit behind it anyway. He gets his jump and his header all wrong. Should be doing much better.
Yeah, he certainly should be doing a lot better. And I think, unfortunately for Dalot, on that occasion, I think if that's Cristiano Ronaldo in that central role, obviously winning the header, I think he at least puts it on target, maybe forces the save out of Vargas, and you never know what happens after that. You could spill it and create another chance, but yeah, I think the creative outlet for Portugal clearly looking bolstered.
Yeah, he does that right hand side as well. I have to say that maybe Diogo Dalot, I mean, João Cancelo was fantastic at Manchester City. He's not as that overlapping full-back that we saw in the Premier League. He's more of, he wants to get involved on the play. I think Dalot maybe got more legs in him, probably more of an overlapping full-back, which will help out Pedro Neto, of course, when you're looking to double up and see what chances you can create. Colombia do have the ball at the back with Vargas, and it's trying to slow the game down. Of course, we do look at both benches. You'd say Portugal have much the stronger in terms of name value alone, but there is the likes of Munoz on the bench, Richard Rios as well. Luis Suarez, not the Uruguayan one, of course. Sporting Lisbon striker replaced Victor Gyökeres and scored just under 40 goals in his first season in Portugal, so not bad. So it's one of them where I look at those three. The couple of them were players. They were all three the substitutes. But it almost I look at the 11 and go, still a very strong 11. And to say you can bring them on if you need to go and get a goal, as a ball over the top here falls for Arias. Shouts of offside. Linesman flag stays down for now. Cordoba is the one who comes away with it. Linesman flag stays down, so he might have been onside, and Colombia is still coming forward and might take advantage of it. Arias, Lerma gets it caught in between his feet. Tracking back there is Fernandes. He does well and he comes away with the ball, and Portugal have it. Great reading of the play. Now here come Portugal on a swift counter attack. João Felix has got pace to burn into Fernandes. He lets it roll for Ronaldo, but it's well defended from Macador. Just sticks his long left leg out there. It would have fallen for Ronaldo. Maybe not for a shot, but maybe to continue play. Dalot was driving down the right as well, and this is something you pointed out off the end of the first half. Maybe when Fernandes had his shot, he could have let it roll for Ronaldo. It's almost as if maybe he's thought that as well, and he's let it roll there. It's not a bad decision, but I think it's just excellent defending from the Colombian left back personally. Yeah,
I think it's really good defending from Mercado, but I also do think that leaving it for Ronaldo is the right decision, but I think it could have been helped on its way by Bruno Fernandes as well. And I don't think him picking it up there would have been a bad option either, because the ball just didn't really have the right amount of speed on it to find Ronaldo, really.
No, it didn't. It was a great pace shown though by João Felix. I'm sat here saying that he's not a pacey player. Well, he showed it right there. Has to be said. Rodriguez was vital in the first half and usually doesn't see the full 90 out, but pings a lovely ball out to a man who I assume would. Luis Diaz. Back to Mercado. He doesn't get there first, but he'll still come away with the ball. João Neves tries to take the ball away from the fullback. He still has it. Arias. He'll open up for goal. It's straight at Costa, but swerving all over the place. So it's a good save from him. ball forward. Felix comes away with it, then into Ronaldo, back to Felix, a battle with Sanchez for the ball. And what I will say is, we've seen him his time at Spurs, Ajax, and around Europe. Davinson Sanchez, he's always got a mistake in him. He isn't the greatest of centre-backs, I don't think, in terms of defending the box. He's got a mistake in him passing-wise. But in terms of, I think, how he can get back, how he can make a mistake and get his pace, his power, no one's getting past him in that sense. He's really good. That, again, maybe because he feels he can make a mistake, because he knows I'll get back there, because Felix had him beat for half a second. As Arias goes for another shot straight down the throat once again of Costa, but 2 shots on goal in quick succession for the former Wolves man. But you'd have to say there that Sanchez, again, really good hold up and defending Felix well, because Felix got away from him for half a second, and then Sanchez kind of just caught up with him and got the ball. But that was dangerous for Portugal. They are countering a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think just going back to what you were saying, I think it really is a big asset to his game, the explosiveness of Davinson Sanchez to have the ability to track back. And listen, I don't think anyone's going to say he's one of the world's best centre-halves, but he certainly is still a brilliant, high-level player, one that people would, dream to have the career of. And he can definitely stand with the best. Maybe not be the best, but he can stand with them.
100%. Portugal in possession, Renato Vega at the back. They seem to be the ones pushing a little bit more in this second. Of course, if it's a draw, Colombia finish top of the table and unbeaten, so the emphasis is a little bit more on Portugal to come forward and grab all 3 points. As far as I can see as well, it is still 1-0 to Uzbekistan. If Congo, they need to come back in that second half. They want to continue their World Cup journey. Neto into Ronaldo, follow back, give it back for a 1-2 there. As Portugal keep the ball in the middle with João Neves. Swings it out to Nuno Mendes on the left-hand side. Nice pass into Felix, twist and turns. He opens up for a strike at goal, but it's low and driven and into the backside of a Colombian defender, John Arias. Of course, as Dale pointed out in the first half, these two is Santiago Arias and John Arias, both playing on the same side as well. Diaz wins the ball first, flicks it over the head of James. Lovely play by the Manchester City defender. João Felix into João Neves. Again, it's a slow tempo as we approach the hour mark here in Miami. Just over 12 minutes played over the second half. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Group K. Seeing how where we do go from at the moment. Delors into Neves, and at the moment is this just both teams kind of looking at each other and just saying, we're just going to have a minute, we're just going to almost reset, have a breath, because neither team, Portugal are happy to just have the ball, Colombia not really pressing too high. At one point, will this become the thing of this will happen later on in the game, and it's just both sides just happy and waiting for the full-time whistle, maybe? Well,
I think that's certainly going to be a question that obviously we're going to think about as the game goes on, and obviously the players on the pitch are also going to think, listen, there's no real reason to overexert ourselves or push ourselves past our limits, and just for a win that essentially changes the bracket a little bit more. But I think from a neutral perspective, I'm not afraid to say I do hope that Portugal would go first, because that would lead us to a potential Argentina-Portugal match in the knockout stage, which I think everyone would see one last dance as a positive.
I think you're right with that one. That's one that, sometimes at this point, isn't it, as well, I can imagine both teams going, oh, well, would we prefer second with the brackets we might be in? Do we want first, so we'll go for it? It's interesting to see how it is lining up right now. Of course, with the games to come at 3 a.m. UK time, with Austria and Algeria, along with Argentina against Jordan. Looks like Messi won't be starting in that game. I can imagine he might be coming on. Apparently, he does want to play a few minutes to keep the minutes ticking over. We can imagine he might not be starting the game. As far as I know, myself and Dale will be on the other game, Austria and Algeria, but you can catch both those games on the service. Lovely ball forward for João Felix. He slows it down, pokes it forward for Ronaldo. He puts it wide, but I wonder if the linesman's flag has gone up as well. It does. To a degree, spares the blushes of the Portuguese skipper, because even if he had put it in the back of the net, it would have been offside. But the defending from Colombia, we just saw in our broadcast pictures of a ball pinged to João Felix, and I'm thinking that's a decent ball. And then he's in acres of space. He's Al Nasser winger. He plays it to Ronaldo. Is it either the ball's too late or the run's too early? Is it a bit of both, or a bit of both? Is it the pass? Is it the run? Is it a bit of both?
I think it's definitely a bit of both, but I think it's also a timing issue from João Felix's perspective, because, as you said, he's got plenty of space to run into. Essentially, for the time frame when he makes the pass, it's a 2v1. Cristiano Ronaldo and João Felix against the one defender in Lucchini, and he has to either make the pass straight away or run into the space and stretch the defender thin. Instead, he delays the pass, plays it then to Ronaldo when he's offside. But even if he's not offside, then Ronaldo's already made his run that he's having to turn around to collect the ball to then take his shot on, and it's just awkward for the number 7. So I think it's more of a timing issue than anything else.
I mean, that's why I feel Felix slowed himself down so much, trying to get a hold of the ball. It was one of them where it wasn't a bad ball. I believe it was Delo, but it was also a ball of, I've got to get that quickly into you because they've really given you a lot of space defensively. Definitely, you'd have to say, I know offside, but the biggest chance of the game, the biggest at least opportunity, ball forward, Delo's going to get there, nod it back to Costa. Well, that was a very risky one there, but Costa comes away with the ball, and so to Portugal. Just over an hour played here in Miami. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action as Group K gets wrapped up this evening. Of course, as I said, the other game was Uzbekistan playing at the same time, and they're still leading 1-0 against Congo, who they want a result. They want to be bound for the knockout stages of the World Cup. Here come Colombia down the right hand side. Arias pulls it back, opportunity, and it's put wide. Massive chance there, as Colombia did make a double change. Just getting confirmation of that. Richard Rios and Suarez on for Cordoba and Lerma. Well, it'd been nicer to see it a little bit earlier, because it was 2 of the substitutes who were involved. Lovely play down the right hand side from Suarez, the striker. He runs the channels incredibly well, the Sporting Lisbon forward. And this man who also plays his football in Portugal, Richard Rios for Benfica. I know he's not a striker, he's a defensive midfielder, but I think he should be getting that one on target, and that's already just showing what the fresh legs for Colombia can do. That means that Portugal have to respect, and that might even just give Portugal that emphasis to go forward, get the goal, and try and kill the game off.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's the age-old mindset of, yes, you might not be an attacking player, but you're still a professional footballer and you should be able to shoot. And Rios probably couldn't have asked for a more open opportunity there. It really will be a situation where Portugal understand now that they've just had 2 changes come on. They've not been as impactful as the 2 Colombia have just made, and it's a wake-up call for them.
It is, as Rios leaves, I believe it's Vitinha, in a bit of a heap there. Watching it back, he's going for the ball, but he does kind of go through him to a degree on his feet. That's what Richard Rios is all about. He's if I'm being bluntly honest, a stereotypical South American defensive midfielder, great technical player. He's going to get a lot of fouls. He's going to win a lot of fouls. He's going to wind the opposition up. Seeing pictures, of course, of Austin McPhee, the Aston Villa set-piece coordinator, but he does also, whether it's international tournaments or breaks, he's the set-piece coach for Portugal as well. So we've seen him work before. Ronaldo, similar kind of position, a little bit wider to a degree. Had this in the first half. We'll have to see what he does. Well, he moves away from the ball, so it will be Bruno Fernandes to take. Dinks it over the top, looking for Ronaldo. Just a little bit too much on it. And there was 2 Colombian players there as well, so the idea was almost Ronaldo's going to be next to you. He's going to make a run into the box and going to try and find him. But Fernandes, like a lot of his teammates, at the moment, are struggling. Yeah,
it was a decent ball into the box, and I think Ronaldo's got the right to complain a little bit there, because I don't think the Colombian players have done anything wrong there, but they've definitely just swarmed him to the point that he can't actually jump up into the sky and challenge for the ball. So it's a difficult one for him to actually get to. I think the delivery was just maybe too high up into the sky.
Now Colombia coming forward, ball in behind, opportunity, one-on-one, fake, strike comes in, it's blocked away at source by Vega. Suarez once again getting in behind, that time showing the pace and the fresh legs of the Sporting man. Well onside there, just a mistake where no one else gets back, but it was Vega on his own, and he does ever so well, but he's feeling could someone have got forward to help him. It was always an accused angle, but he's already come on and made a massive impact as the forward. Corner taken quickly. James Rodriguez, that's a lovely ball into the box. Reaching up for that one, and it just skims ahead that time of Davinson Sanchez. Again, James Rodriguez put it with his right foot. He finds a way to hit it with the outside of his left. That was a great piece of play on the right-hand side. So both teams, you can tell, are still going for it. Maybe Portugal a little bit more than Colombia. Both would be happy, of course, with the draw ball forward. Looking for the runner Fernandez. He's going to come off at an Amazon head. And then it goes out of play as well. Looking at the bench now, I mean, you've already pointed out Rafael Leao, and that's one I definitely agree with. We spoke about, is he injured? I know he played against Uzbekistan. I'm not sure. I can imagine if he's on the bench, he's good to go. Him, Gonçalo Ramos, as I'll bring Dale in a moment, that's a sloppy pass, but then it's picked up by Nuno Mendes. His heavy touch, though, means that Colombia still come away with the ball on the right-hand side. Arias is on an overlap in Santiago. Arias to his right-hand side, uses him back to John Arias. Strike comes in. Costa, a bit late reactions there because it's curled at him, and he almost at the last seconds just kind of reacts and goes, oh, I've got to save and put this wide. Both teams, as the game is getting a bit more stretched, are getting a bit more chances in the penalty area. Yeah,
and in fairness, on the replay, we are seeing that the ball does take a deflection off of Renato Vega, which was, of course, explain the late reactions of Diogo Costa. But yeah, he's made some good saves, but he hasn't held much in this game.
He hasn't. No, you're right with that one. Ball into the box, edge of the area. It's clear to Diaz. Looking for an option, he'll play it to Puerta, who goes for goal, and he's just a whisker wide. We've seen so many of those strikes in this World Cup. You spoke about the ball earlier, Dale, that it can just sometimes pick up some real pace if you kind of hit it low, driven on the box. There's a player down. I believe it's Nuno Mendes, the Portuguese left back, and the rest of the team are asking for a stretcher. I do believe. Trying to watch it back. I can only assume it's maybe a head injury or something along those lines. He's down for a good 10 seconds or so before the Puerta shot comes in, but watching it back, it's just at the last second, almost just swivels a little bit wide, and that brings the ball there. Watching it back, the Mendes injury, he takes a bit of a shoulder barge knock, and then as he almost bends down to just for a second just hold his head and see if it's right, the left thigh of a player comes over and knocks him. It's nothing serious, as the hydration break has just begun, but so you're not missing anything. It's a massive opportunity for teams to reset. We'll see a quick update. We're a few minutes ahead of the game elsewhere in our group. Congo looks like they've got a penalty, so that'll be interesting. Again, they just want to avoid defeat, and they are through again. As I said, we were looking at the first half, Dale. The sleeveless vests, ice shirts are back out. I wonder if they'll be on any shopping websites tomorrow for people to get. Of course, it's been absolutely boiling here in the UK. Still a lovely evening in Miami, but imagine it's a very, very warm one. Seeing pictures of the Miami Stadium now. We'll see on the whiteboard. The iPad possibly might be more modern than when I thought. I have a few words with the team. Again, I said this to you going out of the first hydration break in the first half, and it was a little bit of a closer game, so I think it was harder to ask. And if this one is still close, but I think that either team can score a goal, who does this benefit, this little break? Does it benefit Portugal? Will it benefit Colombia? I'm a little bit in between. I think it can help both teams. There's always that option. But do you think it favours one or the other?
Well, similar to the first half, I think it'll slightly benefit Portugal a little bit more, but not for the same reason, because it looked like Colombia were really starting to knock on the door of Portugal's defence before this hydration break. 3 or 4 shots in a row, and all of them quite close to the goal or forcing a save. And now with this hydration break, we've seen the complaints from many of players saying that it disrupts momentum and it allows players to reset and teams to reset. And I think that's what it's going to allow to happen for Portugal, is that they're going to get a second to breathe. They're going to understand where they're going wrong, thanks to the help of Roberto Martinez, and chances are that they'll be able to reset and restart.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. Well, we're just about to end our hydration. It looks like they're going into theirs in Congo and Uzbekistan's game. Looks like it's one apiece now. So we'll see if that one stands. We'll have to wait and see where we go with that one. There has been a substitution coming on for Portugal. Looks like it might be a double change as well. I mean, you've already spoken Lax lyrics about, as rightfully so, João, just what she was coming off, Rafael Leao coming on, Samu Costa as well. So you've got attacking players without a doubt. As the referee's not happy with Costa. I don't know if he's had to pull his socks up. I mean, he's absolutely obliterated them with the scissors coming into this game as Manchester City midfielder. Looking at Diaz, I think Diaz might even moved to the front room. I'm not too sure. But we are just about to get back underway. Short hydration break done and dusted. Just over 70 minutes, well, just under, I should say, sorry. 20 minutes ago until we do reach the full time whistle. Of course, that goal was from the penalty spot. And now Congo, they've got an equaliser. They will want to go and grab a fourth. Here they come, though, Brazil. To keep a hold of the ball there, Colombia. We'll see though, so we are just back underway after that short hydration break. Let's see where this game does go from here. As I said, that double substitution for Portugal, it's a positive one, bringing two forwards onto the field of play, both young players. I mean, as I say, you've been screaming for Rafael Leao for a while, Dale, and I agree with that. Could it be a tweak of formation? Looks like maybe Bruno Fernandes might drop a little bit deeper, I assume. Obviously where it goes from, but the need to make an impact, and the quicker the better, because 20 minutes to go, time could become the enemy for Portugal. Yeah,
it certainly could, and I think it could be an adaptation of the formation, just in terms of a rotation of the front three. In a way, as you said, when João Neves came on, he is a lot more of a dirty work type of player. He'll put in challenges. He's more than happy to hold up the midfield himself, which will allow Samu and Bruno Fernandes to sit in the pockets behind Ronaldo, Neto and Rafael Leao now. So maybe it'll be almost a front five with the two attacking midfielders.
It's one of them as well. I can imagine that maybe they get a goal, and I know they've made overall now 4 changes. Still got one, so maybe go for it now. If we get a goal, bring another midfielder on, maybe Bernardo Silva, and you sit a bit further back. But as I say, well over halfway through the second half now. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of this final group game in Group K, match day 3. Take us through to full time. Pass you over to Dale.
Yeah, and Samu's picked the ball up, but he's been brought down almost instantly. And no foul, says the referee. So Colombia coming forward, ball into the box. Luis Diaz on the 10. Can he get the shot away? No, he can't. Luis Suarez can't get it away either. And it will be cleared by Ruben Diaz, as it's picked up by Fernandes. Fired into Ronaldo. Tough one for him to bring down as Colombia win possession back and come forward on the left-hand side. Lovely ball into the box from Luis Diaz. Ball into the shot, comes in again, and it's a difficult one for Renato Vega to deal with, but he's done so well, and it's gone behind for a corner kick, one that Luis Diaz wants to take relatively quickly. And he'll take it short, and Colombia want to get the game back underway, but the referee has brought it to a stop, and he'll force the retake of the Colombian corner kick, one that they have again taken short. This time Luis Diaz, the receiver of the ball, lays it off once more, ball into the box, chance comes, falls to, can Rafael get it away? Foul claimed, but no for a penalty kick given by the referee. It was clumsy in the box there, clumsy to get it away with Portugal, and Colombia forcing the issue even still.
Well, it's a lovely ball from James into the back post, just hanging it up there. It's more that Suarez, he pulls his left leg back, and he catches Nuno Mendes, doesn't he? So it's not a foul on by Suarez. Can understand. Well, I can't understand how Suarez jumps up and goes down looking for the penalty. I can understand that maybe he might have taken a whack. Look, Nuno Mendes, his legs are absolutely massive, so I can imagine that might hurt. They look like they're made of steel, so I can understand maybe a bit of pain. But yeah, never a penalty. Good decision by the ref, because some might have been conned by that. That's a late foul though on Delo. I'm trying to see. Yes, Mercado, the left back there. Looks like Colombia ready another. A double substitution. I won't be surprised if this is James Rodriguez coming off, because he does look absolutely knackered and he rarely sees 75, 80 minutes out.
Yeah, he is certainly starting to look a little leggy, and I have to say, a lot of the Portuguese players were complaining a little bit there, because one of the people looking to come on for Colombia, Kevin Castaño, was running up the sideline there. And it almost looked as if he was offering a passing option when he was doing so. But nonetheless, he's yet to come on. As Rafael trying to come forward along the left-hand side, but a heavy touch will find its way to the goalkeeper. As Colombia get the game back underway up the left-hand side. And the ball over the touchline. So we will have the substitutions now, and it looks like it will be John Arias to come off, and it will be Kevin Castaño coming on, as well as you said, Lewis, James Rodriguez to come off. So it's Rodriguez and Arias, John Arias coming off, and we've seen Castaño going up as well as Quintero. So two changes for Colombia. Maybe not as they're positive changes, but they're relatively like for like. Yeah,
they are, and I think it's just fresh legs, making sure James is again a main player. Well, two main players, John Arias as well, isn't it? That they're done and dusted. The only player you would say that might come off that's that player you want to get wrapped up in cotton wool, possibly you're looking at Luis Diaz as well. They've got another change they can make to do that, so that's an opportunity. Mendes takes it past his man. It's like Leao, apologies. Here he comes. Has he won a corner? Should do. And at the moment, you would say Portugal look the more likely to come forward and get a goal. They're a bit more positive. As you say, Colombia, it's not negative, it's just they've done like for like changes, haven't they? They're not changing anything, whereas Portugal, being a bit more front-footed and looking to go for the win, they want to finish top of the group.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think you have to admire that determination to finish top of the group, but also, as I said in the start of this match, it really would set the tone for the group stage for Portugal and Roberto Martinez's side. And again, we see the Aston Villa set-piece coach just getting some information to the players before they get this corner into the box. And the referee also getting some information as to rules that they must abide before they can put the ball into the box. As we see Cristiano Ronaldo stood on the goal line behind the goalkeeper in Vargas. As the ball, well, it looks like he was about to come into the area. But the referee again telling Ronaldo to step out of the goal. He has to be on the pitch, it seems, before the ball can come into play. As Bruno Fernandes plays it short to the edge of the area. Shot comes in from range, and it was always curling. Just not enough there from Diogo Dalot. But it's certainly not as far away as a lot of people would make out.
Yeah, it was curling, as you say. And I think, if I'm honest, Vargas was, to me, very confident to see how close that is. It's one of them. It looks like it's always going wide, but my word, is it, again, a lot closer than... By Vargas, you'd have thought it was going miles wide, wouldn't you? So very confident keeping there. I mean, it falls for Delo, and it's a right-back taking a shot. But I do remember a few years ago, he's an absolute corker in Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. So he's got it in his locker. Now, yes, maybe you would rather it fall to Bruno Fernandes or Rafael Leao. But to a degree, the reason I think Delo was able to get the shot away is because he almost went, right, the right back, yeah, you can have that shot. Here come Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia with a lovely ball through the middle there, trying to find Luis Diaz. Can't get it away from his feet, and Portugal will clear it away up towards the right-hand side as Pedro Neto has plenty of space to run into. We'll find a teammate in João Neves. And then back to Pedro Neto, who's gone to ground from the challenge of Castaño. So it will be a Portugal free kick just inside their own half. Taken short. Diogo Dalot finds João Neves. Neves to find Samu, and Samu to Rafael Leao. Portugal moving it around steadily here, just inside the Colombia half. That's a good pass to pick out Ronaldo. Back to Fernandez, back to Ronaldo again, inside the penalty area. Will he lay it off? Yes, he will, but can't find a teammate. And it's good defensive work yet again from Davinson Sanchez. Unselfish for Ronaldo to try and find a teammate. Could he have maybe taken a shot on? It was a tight angle.
It was. I mean, I think you're right. I think the right decision is to play it back into Leao. You're spot on. But I could also see the low-driven left-footed effort, if I'm honest, or high up into the net as an option. Ronaldo I thought it went out for a corner, or it might be a throw-in, or I'm not too sure. But we're seeing pictures of the fans at the moment, so just waiting for full confirmation as Fernandez is going to pick the ball, I assume, for the corner. Unless it was the other side, as you were saying, just change your sides. I think the inswinger from Bruno Fernandes is what you'd rather have. Portugal, they're really pushing for a goal.
Yes, it was Cristiano Ronaldo was complaining to the referee because he initially awarded the corner kick to be taken from the right-hand side. But of course it did go out more closer to the left as Bruno Fernandes raises his right arm and delivers it into the near post, headed away by Lucumi and cleared away by Colombia. Luis Diaz, plenty of space to run into, but he is surrounded by a few players. Will find a teammate up on the left-hand side now. Machado bearing down on that left-hand side. Quintero once more into the box, but takes a deflection off of the Manchester United man in Diogo Dalot. And Portugal will get it away. And as of right now, Congo have completed their comeback, the one that they needed. I mean, they only needed a draw realistically, but they would have. Oh no, they actually needed the win, didn't they? With the points tally, they needed a draw to stay where they were, but with the win, they now go on to 4 points as it stands, and more than likely will qualify at South Korea's expense as of right now. And I mean, you can just see what it means as Maela wheels away in celebration there. So as it stands, they are in 3rd place, but on 4 points, which gives them a much better chance of qualifying. And the referee here in our game has given a free kick to Portugal. Bruno Fernandes feeling the contact from the feet of Rios, going to ground and winning Portugal a set-piece opportunity. And this one, I have to say, is a much better set-piece opportunity because it's left field. It's not too far left that it's essentially a corner though. It's a good angle to put it into that back post, and obviously runners can run in, take a shot and goal, but they can also lay it off once more. Yeah,
100%. You can whip it in and put it back into a dangerous area, can't you? And you would say at this point, with the subs have made as well, Leao for a winger, he's very tall, isn't he? Really physical. Looks like Mendes, as you said, he'll probably whip it in. So it's a good opportunity for Portugal. Time's running out for them to get a winner, but this is a big chance.
Yes, Nuno Mendes ball into the box, headed away by Sanchez. And I think a foul has been given the way of Colombia. So a wasted opportunity really for Portugal. It was a good chance for them to put a ball into the box and maybe create a shooting opportunity, but in the end the delivery was poor and the discipline was poor, it seems, as they've given away a free kick inside the Colombia penalty area. So it will be Vargas to take it as he plays it up towards the right-hand side. And of course, as it stands, not too much changes for Colombia and Portugal, but a goal late on can easily tip the scales as to who they would face in the knockout stages. Of course, as it stands, Portugal would draw Croatia and Colombia would have Ghana. Although you have to say, with the future matches, if they were to progress from there, Portugal would certainly want the Ghana match, as their next match would be against the winners of Switzerland and Iran, or as it stands, Spain and Austria. So certainly not the match you'd want to meet, not the team you'd want to run into so early on in the round of 16. But of course they would have to beat Croatia even still, and there no pushover as Colombia come forward now on the right hand side. Laid off to Rios. Puerta back to Rios again. Now with Quintero. Finds Arias. Santiago Arias still on the pitch. John Arias, of course, went off moments ago. Luchumi in towards Rios. He'll do well to find Luis Diaz, who I'm surprised has made it to the 84th minute. Passing behind, looking for Quintero, slightly on the hit, so cleared away by Renato Vega, but picked up by Rios once more. So Colombia still in possession, edge of the area. Castano trying to find a teammate through the middle, unable to do so. And now Pedro Neto picks up the ball for Portugal. Plenty of space to run into, but instead decides to bring the ball to a standstill, much to Cristiano Ronaldo's dismay. He was making a run into some space as Pedro Neto picks it up once more. Lays it off to João Neves, Renato Vega, and now with Nuno Mendes yet again. I have to say Cristiano Ronaldo's drifted very far wide here just to get a touch on the ball and create something with the play. I have to say he's done well as he's played a couple 1-2s and progressed the ball up the pitch. Now towards the right hand side as Pedro Neto shifts onto his left foot. Looks like he was going to put a ball into the box. Has a double take and then plays it once more. Switching the play to Rafa Leao, who's twisting, turning the AC Milan man. Eventually puts a ball into the box, but a poor touch from Diogo Dalot. He's managed to win it back, dinked into the area. Can't get it away though. Can Colombia, as they eventually win themselves a goal kick due to the poor touch really from Pedro Neto. And I don't really know how to describe the nature of Portugal's attack there, because it was hesitant but also just poor.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I think miscommunication around the board, really, wasn't it? Really poor. And it felt like Neto was we're happy with a 0-0. That as Gustavo Puerta's been given a yellow card, I believe, maybe but he might have said something to the referee or something before watching it back. It might be for a foul watching it back. We didn't see it with a foul. It's a late one on João Neves as well. It's a sore one right on top of the right boot. On top of the right foot as Daniel Munoz is going to come on. And it will be for Santiago Aros. And you spoke about Luis Diaz. I'm surprised, maybe it's not like for like, but just saying to Munoz, right, just play a bit further forward. You come on for Diaz, get him off the field of play. With Daniel Munoz, 2-2. He might get 3-3. You never know. Stoppage time, we will get a lot more than the 3 minutes of the first half. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from in terms of seeing the man who used to play basketball in Miami, Jimmy Butler, in attendance, wearing a vibrant Colombian shirt. There's a lot of yellow, I do have to say, a lot more yellow than red. There's a lot of Portuguese fans there, I'm not doubting that, but at least from our broadcast view, where we're seeing it at the back end and the left, surprised me with the Colombian support. But yeah, it almost felt like just from that Portuguese attack, it was Neto was happy for the draw. Ronaldo wanted to come forward. Here come Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia with the ball driving towards the byline, cut across goal, but Rafa Leao defending and again cleared off the line. It's a really big defensive effort there from Ruben Diaz just to keep the game at 0-0. Colombia, with that change, it seems like they want to go for it late on. They really do want to make an effort to win this game and set the tone for the knockout stage. Ball towards the back post, Diogo Costa save, and then a shot comes in and it's over the bar. Luis Suarez just couldn't direct it on target. It was essentially an open goal because Diogo Costa had come out to claim it. Colombia probably with their best chance to win the game there, but Luis Suarez just skying the ball.
He does. He slices. He gets it wrong, as you say. I think if anything, he just needs to guide that, doesn't he? Just even if he passes it in the back of the net, because you're right, he's an open goal because Costa's already committed. What an important header that is, though, from Ruben Diaz, as you say, because it's a tap-in for Luis Suarez at the back post. And even if he gets it wrong, if it goes over his head or anything like that, big chance nearly falling there for one of the substitutes for Colombia. Looking at the table as well. Thankfully Portugal, because they actually hammered Uzbekistan with the goal difference, but due to the draw with Congo, if they wouldn't have hammered Uzbekistan as much as they did, they could have even dropped into third if they were to lose this game later on. Of course, that's if buts and maybes, but I think this game is really opening up in the last few minutes. As you said, those subs from Colombia with Munoz coming on, I'm expecting a barnstormer of an ending.
Yeah, you certainly are, and of course credit to DR Congo for their efforts so far to get into that third place spot and actually qualify from it. But I have to say it made to be a distasteful avail, because as it stands, they'll go through to face England in the round of 32, which is a rather unfortunate draw. And I think another aspect of the draw, for a benefit that Colombia will have for finishing first in their group, is that they'll actually have an extra 2 days over Portugal to prepare for their next match. Portugal's game will, of course, be played on July 2nd, Colombia's on July 4th. So maybe not an aspect that all too many will think about, but certainly a benefit for Colombia and Ghana, of course, who will play in that match as it stands. But we are approaching the 90th minute. It is still Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Colombia in possession just inside the Portugal half. Davinson Sanchez playing it up towards the right-hand side as Quintero switches the play. Brought down well by the number 14, Puerta. Colombia still coming forward. I say that as they play it backwards, of course, but looking to retain possession and create a shooting opportunity. We have crossed over the 90th minute mark, and there will be 5 minutes of added time as the ball into the box from Munoz. A headed effort from Suarez is shanked wide towards the left-hand side, and the added efforts from Mercado to win that loose ball and put a ball into the box. Took a deflection. Not too sure on the double kiss aspect, so I'm not too sure if it's a goal kick or a corner kick. We'll get confirmation shortly, but the headed effort from Suarez not the greatest, and it will be a Colombia corner. One's been taken short again. So Mercado out towards Luis Diaz on this left-hand side. He'll look to put a ball in towards the back post. A headed effort, it's in the back of the net, and Colombia have surely won it late on. Davinson Sanchez wheeling away in celebration, but the offside flag has gone up. Davinson Sanchez waggling his finger in the air, saying it's not offside, you've got this one wrong. A replay to see, but on live viewing it looked alright.
It did. It's very close, isn't it? But I do think he was just on, at least from first viewing. But look, if they were to get this late goal, what a moment it would be. If that was a peach of a ball in the box as well. Watching it back, does he make his run? Watching it, is he kept on at the front post? It looks like he is. I want to say it's Rafael Leao, who is a yard in front of his defenders. Diego Costa's all at sea, nothing he can do about it. It's very, very close. He's offside from his man, if you will, from who's defending him. But I do believe Rafael Leao does keep him just onside. And what a way for Colombia to win. There is a VAR check, and it says goal at the bottom, so I'm assuming they're saying it's counted. The referee's still having a word in his ear. I assume he will be pointed to the monitor if, as they're making a substitution, Mateus Nunes is coming on for Nuno Mendes. The referee is pointing, I assume, for the offside. We haven't seen a replay. No goal. We've seen one replay. It looked like that Rafael Leao had kept him on Davinson Sanchez. So when we see the 3D models that FIFA use, that'll be interesting to see if that's offside, and be interesting to see where we go from. Do we get another late possible goal?
Certainly is some added drama late into this game. Coming forward now are Portugal as Mateus Nunes picks up the ball just on the right channel of centre, almost in the pitch, as he plays it back towards Renato Vega. Just over 2 minutes left on the clock as Rafael Leao bearing down on goal. Can he cut across? A shot comes in. It's almost put across goal as a percentage ball, just to tease anyone who could come across. Not really confident in the shot, so just wanted to veer it wide, but so close for Portugal. It
is, and what I will say is that's what was quite frustrating about that, because as you say, it's a shot, but also a cross across the face of goal. If you're going to put a cross in, you've got to cut it back, I feel, with your left boot, or just commit and go for the shot, because it's 50. It's wide as a cross and it's wide as a shot, isn't it? So I just think that's a poor decision made from Leao. Well, to get in the position was brilliant, though, wasn't it? Taking it past his man, and the pace and power from the AC Milan forward was brilliant. Just think that let him down there. Because again, go for goal and miss. Okay, that's fine. Or pull it backwards. I want to say it might have been Ronaldo on the 6-yard box who was there. But pull it back and has a better opportunity. But Leao coming forward again.
Yeah, and it's an overlapping run as well on the left-hand side from the man wearing the number 5, Diogo Dalot, who of course has moved over to that left-hand side since Mateus Nunes has come on to the pitch, and it's gone out but then come back in the clearance from Colombia. So it will be a Portugal throw, quite high up the pitch as well, as Diogo Dalot has the ball in hand. And yeah, just going back to that effort from Rafael. He's gone to ground, no foul given by the referee. Yeah, it's poor decision making for sure. A simple pass to one of his teammates in the middle. It's surely a tap-in. Or of course take the shot on and make the goalkeeper make the save, but the hesitation has led to defeat on that occasion as Colombia on with the ball, edge of the area, shot comes in, blocked, and then it falls out towards Rios once more. Lovely ball in behind. Diogo Costa comes out to claim it and does so well, or at least well enough to knock the ball away from the Colombian man and then claim the loose ball, although he has now since gone to ground holding his head. And yeah, we can see a clear boot catch his face there.
Yeah. Watching this, we're going to watch it back. A toe offside? That is my word. That is, when you talk about a game of inches, that is exactly what that is. So unfortunate. I mean, look, Colombia as it stands are still going to finish top of the group, and a 0-0 draw against Portugal is nothing to be sniffed at. But look, to go 3 out of 3, 3 wins, 9 points out of 9 would have been a tremendous. And it's just one of them, isn't it, where I just look at that and there's a part of me that goes, how is that offside? There's a part of me that goes, yes, his toe is offside. He doesn't go, how is that? He's just one of them, isn't it? It's 3-1 to DR Congo that they've really almost took it personally in that second half. We've played the 5 minutes of stoppage time, but we had the VAR for the goal. We've had a bit of stoppage there. Maybe another 30 seconds at best, but I think maybe both teams are happy to play this 0-0 draw out now.
And I think it also goes back to the viewpoint of, yes, he's a toe offside, but how much advantage does a toe offside actually bring to the attacker, especially considering he scored a header? But nonetheless, it is 0-0 at full time. The referee blowing his final whistle. So of course, Davinson Sanchez thought he'd won it for Colombia late on, but he was then to find out he was a toe offside. And at full time, it is Colombia 0, Portugal 0.
Full time from Miami, and it's finished goalless between Colombia and Portugal, as Colombia will finish atop of Group K thanks to that point, undefeated when it comes to their group selection. 2 wins and a draw. Portugal will finish second. Congo will go through third. A good game between the two sides. Both sides happy with the draw in the end. Best chance of the game later on for Rafael Leao, but between the two sides after 90 minutes, it's 0-0. Full time in Miami, and it's finished Colombia 0, Portugal 0 in the final match day in Group K between the two sides. As Colombia finish atop of the group, Portugal will have to settle for second. A game where both sides, I think box to box, were so intent and played some really good stuff. Just that final pass and that final chance was missing, it has to be said. The final creativity, final passes were just a little bit off this evening for both these sides. But look, their job's done. Both sides undefeated in the groups. 2 wins and a draw for Colombia, whereas Portugal 2 draws and a win. It was comfortable when you look back at it, but I'm sure the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, his Portuguese team, is wanting to finish atop of the tree. But Colombia were ever impressive. They kept it intense. In the first half, they were much better. We're getting strikes at goal from the likes of Cordoba, James Rodriguez. Luis Diaz weren't as much of a threat as he'd like. Ronaldo had a shot at goal from a free kick in the first half, and for Portugal, their best chance fell for Bruno Fernandes in the first half, but straight to the goalkeeper. Best chance of the second half definitely fell for Rafael Leao in the last few moments for Portugal, putting his strike wide though. Colombia did have the ball in the back of the net. Davinson Sanchez with a great header out the back sticks, adjudged to be offside by a toe. A game of inches it's called. That's exactly what it was, fallen offside, ever so close. Both teams though, a draw, very much a good point for both these sides, as it has happened that no one can get a goal this evening. They put 5 past Uzbekistan in Portugal, but Colombia standing tall. They get 3 wins, close to 3 wins I should say. 2 wins out of 3, 2 clean sheets as well to boot. Impressive from Nestor and his side. Full time from Miami, goalless. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Algeria take on Austria in match day 3 in Group J. With it all to play for, but a point apiece would be perfect for both sides. Currently, both are tasting defeat to Argentina 3-0 on match day 1 for Algeria, 2-0 for Austria. On the second match day, they're already qualified, are the World Cup defending champions. Austria are second with 3 points. Algeria third with 3. A draw would most likely, if not definitely, see them both into the knockout round. But one of these could fly into second place as well. If a draw does occur, Austria will be second place, so Algeria will want to put the pressure on them in terms of the top 2. When we look at the two sides, changes have been made for Algeria. 4, Nouri, a forced one due to injury, along with Zerouki, Boudai and Zidane. Benbot, Hajam, Bentaleb and Aouar are into the side, whereas Austria 3 changes for Ralf Ragnick and co. Danso, Juana and Greglic is out. Leonhardt, Mwene and Arnautovic is into the lineup. For Algeria, it's Oussama Benbot in goal. A back four of Rafik Belghali, Aissa Mandi, Rami Ben Sabani and Jacqueline Hajam. Midfield 3 of Hassam Aouar, Nabil Bentaleb and Ibrahim Marza, with skipper Riyad Mahrez and Faris Chaibi as the 2 wide players, and Amin Gouiri as a forward number 9. For Austria, Alexander Schlager is in goal. Back for Stefan Posch, Philipp Leonhardt, skipper David Alaba and Philippe Moine. Midfield duo of Nicolas Seibold and Xavier Schlager as the 2 holders, with Romano Schmidt, Konrad Leimer and Marcel Sabitzer supporting Marko Arnautovic. Iglis Tantashev, the Uzbekistan official, is in charge for all the action from Kansas City as Group J wraps up as Algeria take on Austria. Algeria take on Austria in match day 3 in Group J. With it all to play for, but a point apiece would be perfect for both sides. Currently, both are tasting defeat to Argentina 3-0 on match day 1 for Algeria, 2-0 for Austria. On the second match day, they're already qualified, are the World Cup defending champions. Austria are second with 3 points. Algeria third with 3. A draw would most likely, if not definitely, see them both into the knockout round. But one of these could fly into second place as well. If a draw does occur, Austria will be second place, so Algeria will want to put the pressure on them in terms of the top 2. When we look at the two sides, changes have been made for Algeria. 4, Nouri, a forced one due to injury, along with Zerouki, Boudai and Zidane. Benbot, Hajam, Bentaleb and Aouar are into the side, whereas Austria 3 changes for Ralf Ragnick and co.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying